Shout out to the moderators, the channel members, and the Patreon. Salute to everybody that supports me on Patreon. I just recently posted a video a few days ago, so make sure y'all go and check it out. Now, also shout out to Snake Eyes with the first super chat. I want to say this up front because I know people are going to not like the fact that I'm not covering some of the bullshit that's been going on in the news. And I've already told y'all, if you want to hear me speak on those particular topics, you need to go over to Patreon. I'm going to address the situation that happened with the young kid. Man, it's a young kid. Like might be a young adult, teenager maybe. The young man that was being, basically berated, pushed around by the tough guy, Army Sergeant. And also the situation with Dante up there in Minnesota. Those particular topics will be covered on Patreon. You know what's funny? You got people sending me that situation that happened with the Army Sergeant, right? With such glee. Like, they just knew I was going to do a whole live stream speaking about that, which I won't. Don't take a live stream. I can make a video on it. It doesn't take a live stream to talk about that because those type of situations are nothing new. Nothing new. Especially if you're from the South or South Carolina. It's nothing new. You have to be very careful of your surroundings. Sometimes when you're in areas that you might be new to or not too familiar with, right? And people sending me send me that story with glee as if they just knew I was going to talk about it. And yeah, but it's probably going to be on Patreon. It's not going to be on YouTube. They tired of me putting my foot in Patrice Collier's putting my my foot on her neck, and Tamika Mallory. They tired of that. They say you need to talk about this racism. Racism. No, I think there's a lot going on, but I don't think that racism is the biggest problem that y'all have to deal with. You may not like me saying that, but that's the reality. This is why blacks move out of black neighborhoods and move to predominantly Caucasian neighborhoods where situations like that occur when you're getting pushed around by a tough guy, Army Sergeant, who has an inferiority complex in regards to black males. So I just wanted y'all to know that up front before y'all come here telling me about everything else except for the topic. Now I know that all you smart guys are going to come here as well, and you're going to tell me, Jay, we already knew this. You don't have to speak on this. We know this already. If you knew it already, you wouldn't be here now, would you? Obviously, there are questions that you have, or obviously you wouldn't be here. The reason why I'm doing a live stream on it is because you have a young lady who looks like she could be a Gen Zer who's saying this. Or she could be a young millennial, who knows? And she's saying it with such passion. It gives you hope, right? That's why I'm speaking on it. All that other stuff that's going on in the news really doesn't interest me to do live streams on. If I want to cover it, I'll cover it on Patreon. Just so y'all know, y'all sending me those topics with glee as if I'm just going to go in on all this racism. And it's like, nah, bro. Your biggest problem ain't racism, sir. It really ain't. But make sure you like the stream anyway. Let's see who's here. Jane, Kizzos, Ramon, Abby, Langer, Sydney, Malcolm, Macker, Pure, Gosu, Ramir, Snake Eyes, Abby, Tevin, Black Rain, see Lando, Cellar Boy, Snake Eyes, Matt, Big Mario, Charm, Wood 2K, India, Pete, Cat, Brent, Malik, Will, Red Pill Philosophy. Shout out to RJ, Women be like, women cheat too. We just better at it so we don't get caught. Then they complain about men cheating. I mean, that's possible, but I don't care if that's how they feel, as long as it's being put out there. Because women are very close. They're very close-lipped about the cheating habits of women, because women they protect themselves socially. Women protect themselves socially, right? CB, bro, let me tell you something, man. This is a response video live stream. That's why I have a picture like I have it. I don't know why I have to tell y'all this, but I guess I have to. Once again, make sure y'all get the likes up. Let's see. Let's see. And also, I want to say this too to a lot of you guys that listen to me. I know some of you guys may feel some type of way about women, but not all women are the same. I want to make that extremely clear, because I know I'm going to see comments from people saying, don't date. Don't get in relationships. Don't deal with women. And we all know that none of y'all live by that decree, because if you did, you will be what would be either an incel or a MGTOW monk. If you're neither of those, then you can't tell other men to stay away from women. So I don't want to see none of that. So unless, what's good, T Malone? Lee Renee, what's up? So unless you're either a MGTOW monk or an incel, you can't be telling other men to stay away from women when you don't stay away from women. So let's make that extremely clear. If I see some of you males in my chat room, even the comment section, if you listen to this playback, saying stay away from women, don't date women, when you don't follow that advice. A lot of y'all be giving advice that you don't live out yourself. You know? Because I'm seeing hypocrisy. Like, y'all don't understand. I do watch other people's content here and there. And y'all will say one thing here, and then next thing you know, you're going some way seeking dating advice. You come here, you're all black pill, then you go somewhere else, and then you're blue pill. What happened? What happened? Like, seriously. Again, make sure y'all like the stream. We're going to get into this video. From this young lady here. This is why she's in the thumbnail. I don't put people in the thumbnails I'm not going to talk about. That's one thing you won't see here. All right? There's a purpose. There's a purpose of why having the thumbnail. So we're going to get into it. Make sure y'all like the stream. All right? No stupid comments.
One thing leads to...
Oh, let me go back. Let me go back.
Okay, I think girls cheat more, and I think it's worse when a girl cheats because, okay, when a guy cheats, he's just having sex. That's all it is, okay? You know, guys are horny 24/7. They are made to mate. So when he cheats, it's literally one thing leads to another. They smash, boom, he never talks to her again. Done and over with, right? Not for a girl. Girls are not horny 24/7. So when a girl cheats, most of the time, she's going to talk to a guy for a few weeks, okay? She's going to link up with him a few times, and then she's going to cheat. Is she going to cut him off? No. Why? Because girls get attached after sex. So she can't just cut him off. So not only is she smashing a dude, but she gave her time, her effort, her attention, all to another dude while she had a boyfriend. Is a guy gonna do that? No, because he doesn't care about getting to know the girl. He didn't care to invest in her on an emotional level. Girls invest in another male on an emotional level, which is 10 times worse. It's first degree. It's planned out, and it's fucked up.
Let me say this.
Girls cheat more.
Let me say this. Women are very organized when it comes to cheating. Shout out to Shawty7. I'm surprised the sisterhood is telling on themselves. These young ladies are different, man. That's what I can say. Some of these younger ladies, they're a little different. You know, they're not as quick to want to be a part of the lie. I call it the great lie that women don't cheat, right? And that women show extreme amounts of loyalty. I think that has faded over the years, especially with the growth of social media. And that's her logic. I know some of you may not agree with it or like it, but that's from her. I don't think she's totally wrong. Women do plan out. Women do like to get to know the guys that they're cheating with. They're not just going to hop from guy to guy because they can get caught like that. So when you see women with a bunch of guy friends, okay, this is how it starts. They'll choose that one guy friend, right? They could be in themselves in between relationships. They themselves could be, married, right? They'll have that one male friend who they start to treat like a platonic boyfriend almost, right? Until she's single, and then she sort of moved that guy into that slot position of boyfriend. But before she did that, she used to cheat with him. That he was her emotional crutch. He was there for her on the emotional side, and then it grew physical. Let's go, Ralph. Shout out to Shawty 7 again. So, is she wrong? What's good, Ann? Is she wrong that women like to build let's say chemistry. Well, chemistry with a guy, but that guy usually is like a friend, a guy friend. There was a girl that I used to follow years ago on Twitter. This is before I was making videos. And she would refer to her guy friend as her best friend, right? She would say best friend this, best friend that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like she was giving him the energy of like giving him girlfriend energy. Like she, was just relentless in getting his attention and putting him in the faces of other people, even though that was a quote unquote best friend. Quote unquote best friend. Right? Hold on. Got some cash apps. Let's see. Shout out to Gary. Thanks for the wisdom. Appreciate that, Gary. Okay, shout out to Langan with the cash app. Says paying my dues for this red pill gospel. Rev Black. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So is she wrong to say that women like to build an emotional tie to the guys that they're sleeping with? Now, women will have, I'm not saying that women won't have one night stands. We all know that women will have a one night stand. They will have a one night stand. They will have one night stands. They will sleep with a guy they met at the club or at a bar, that are at a store. We know that this will happen. But those are cases where that woman is probably, her mindset is sex, sex, sex. And she just comes across a guy who just is her type, and he has a mouthpiece and he's able to finesse the box. So we know that happens, but I'm talking about in situations where a woman is in a relationship. She's not going to be actively hunting for dudes to sleep with. It's usually a dude that she already knows. That's why you can't catch them cheating, because they already have known the guy that they're going to sleep with for a long time. They have a sort of system with each other. They probably been messing around with each other for a long time while they were in a relationship, while the guy friend was in a relationship. They've built that to where, they have a way of dealing with each other without having to have too much communication that would alert the boyfriend or the husband. So I can say that women are organized in that, in a sense, What's good, Sarah? I see you. Shout out to Shawty 7 again, Jay. How would men handle the backup quarterback dude? I never dealt with this, but I would not be comfortable with a chick even having a gay bestie. Well, I will tell you this. some guys will allow it because their girlfriends run the relationships. They're going to have guy friends whether the boyfriend likes it or not. And most times that guy ends up just allowing it. Or she'll have guy friends, but she may not speak of them as a guy friend. He might be a coworker, right? He might be a friend of a friend, but he's really her friend. Let's get back to the video. Let's listen to this young lady speak more sense than these heifers on social media, on YouTube or whoever, who just pure BS because they're bitter because they constantly getting put in the side chick zone. the side chick zone, side chick energy.
And I think it's worse when a girl cheats because, okay, when a guy cheats, he's just having sex. That's all it is, okay? You know, guys are horny 24/7. They are made to mate. So when he cheats, it's literally one thing leads to another. They smash, boom, he never talks to her again. Done and over with, right? Not for a girl. Girls are not horny 24/7. So when a girl cheats, most of the time, she's going to talk to a guy for a few weeks, okay? She's going to link up with him a few times, and then she's going to cheat. Is she going to cut him off? No. Why? Because girls get attached after sex. So she can't just cut him off. So not only is she smashing a dude, but she gave her time, her effort, her attention, all to another dude while she had a boyfriend. Is a guy going to do that? No, because he doesn't care about getting to know the girl. He didn't care to invest in her on emotional.
That guy don't even know that chick last name, middle name. Probably won't even remember her after a while.
Level. Girls invest in another male on an emotional level, which is 10 times worse. It's first degree. It's planned out and it's fucked up.
So the young lady wrong or is she right? I know some people aren't going to like what she's saying because they're going to say, oh, look at this young girl. She's young. She doesn't know. But what other female who's probably her age has said this before, right? It usually take a woman getting about 40 or 45, 50 before she finally realizes this stuff. It takes them forever to figure this thing out that, yes, women are out here doing the same thing that men are doing. Why do you think women say, if men can do it, why can't we do it? It's because they want to have multiple side dudes. They want to have guys that they can just go and sleep with. They want to be able to have one night stands with no judgment. Even though if men do those things, they get judged too, especially if they're in a relationship. I don't think it's a situation where guys are out here not being judged for their actions. Of course they are. But if you're a woman, you do have to be selective of who you sleeping with, especially if you want to be a wife. No man wants to know his wife is out here in these streets. They want their potential wives out of the streets. You know, by a certain time period, you need to be done with the streets. But some of these women just can't leave the streets. I mean, they're addicted to the streets. Shout out to Jaye 7. They're addicted to the streets. They can't leave. So that's why you would hear them say, if men can do it, why can't we do it? What woman wants to be getting dizzy from a whole bunch of different guys? What's good, Ednice? Like, seriously. Like, why would you want to have multiple side dudes? Why would you want to have a rotation of males? We know a lot of these modern women got rotations. It ain't just the men that got rotations. The women got rotations too. There are women out here with rotations too, man. They do. Y'all don't think they do? In 2021, y'all don't think these women got rotations? Why you think these women always want to fight every time somebody picks their phone up? Ain't no telling what's in that phone. Ain't no telling what can be seen in those phones. Why y'all think when I've done video responses, right? And as soon as the dude try to pick up her phone, she ready to fight. Because she don't want the dude to know that she got a whole rotation. You know? They got a whole rotation. And again, I don't think personally, if you with somebody, you with them. But if you want to have, women on the side, you need to tell that woman before you get into a relationship with her, so you don't look like a complete fool. If you out here dealing with women and you got to hide certain things, you're lying to them. If that's the type of relationship you're going to have, you need to be real with it. I just think it's too much temptation. Just like when I did the video about DJ Mustard and his former personal shopper, he exposed that she was stealing from him. And he showed the text messages, and she literally said that she was sorry that she let the temptation of having that credit card or that debit card or bank card or whatever go to her head to make her basically spend over $100,000 of his money, even though she was making $6,000 a month salary from being a personal shopper. The temptation was just too great for her not to spend upwards of $100,000 of his money as if he wouldn't find out. As if he wouldn't, the arrogance, the stupidity. If you don't have discipline with somebody else's bank card, I know you don't have discipline when it comes to your body. I know you don't have discipline. So therefore, yes, you're going to have a lot of women getting into relationships, but they cheating too. But it seems to me more and more women are getting caught because they're getting stigmatized, right? I did a video years ago. I did a video in 2016, I believe. And it was about this woman who came to this dude's house, right? And she was begging for him to sleep with her, to give her some dick, right? And he had a screen, right? And she was at the screen door and said, she said, let her get something for the road. She said, let her get something for the road, man. I was like, wow, man. Begging him for the dick. He telling her to go. And he filming her, right? He telling her to go on, because she had another dude in the car. And I believe the dude that was in the car was either her husband or her boyfriend. And the dude was like, why are you over here at my house? You with a whole nother dude, but you trying to get some dick from me. And I'm telling you, man, that's how women get caught. When they get too destigmatized, that's how they end up getting caught. That's why you starting to get caught. These women are starting to get caught more and more because they just ain't getting what they want to get at home. And they're saying, screw all the planning. They throwing the planning out the window and they're going to their most reliable source. But what happens when that dude don't want you? That's when women start to screw up. That's how they start to get caught up. Or it's by short notice. Like I done seen a few videos of chicks at motel rooms getting caught. Like once they get destigmatized, that's how they get caught. That's how they get caught. And more women are starting to get caught. And it's starting to become reality that these women are really out here in these streets despite wanting relationships, wanting marriages, but they still want to go and get plowed. Okay? They want to get plowed by the old reliable. But what happens when reliable don't want to deal with you no more? Now you out here looking like a fiend. Right? Let's go back to the video and let's listen to the lady here.
Girls cheat more, and I think it's worse when a girl cheats because, okay, when a guy cheats, he's just having sex. That's all it is, okay? You know, guys are horny 24/7. They are made to mate. So when he cheats, it's literally one thing leads to another. They smash, boom, he never talks to her again. Done and over with, right? Not for a girl. Girls are not horny 24/7. So when a girl cheats, most of the time, she's going to talk to a guy for a few weeks, okay? She's going to link up with him a few times, and then she's going to cheat. Is she going to cut him off? No. Why? Because girls get attached after sex. So she can't just cut him off. So not only is she smashing a dude, but she gave her time, her effort, her attention, all to another dude. while she had a boyfriend. Is a guy gonna do that? No, because he doesn't care about getting to know the girl. He didn't care to invest in her on an emotional level. Girls invest in another male on an emotional level, which is 10 times worse. It's first degree, it's planned out, and it's fucked up.
Yes, it is. And I think it's
I think
man, you know what I think I'm noticing is that the younger women feel like they've gotten the short end of the stick when it comes to men. They're realizing a lot of these young guys ain't looking for committed relationships no more. They're not even looking for marriage like that. And they're starting to feel the effects of the women before them and the males as well, because again, a lot of these women didn't have father figures. And they're starting to feel that. So they're saying to themselves, wow, these guys' mindset is so different. They're not falling all over themselves trying to get with me anymore. There's more women than men. And they're starting to see that. And they're like, wow, what are we going to do? Now, I will say this, though. The one thing she's wrong about is that men are horny 24/7. No, men are not horny 24/7. Come on, man. Now, you got guys that have high sex drives, but even then, I don't think they're trying to screw all day long. Now, some instances, sometimes you may feel good and you feel like you can go all day, but that's not every day. There might be 1 or 2 days out the week when you feel like you can go 24 hours. But for the most part, guys who work and do that, they have a lot going on. They're not trying to screw all. They're not thinking about sleeping with a woman all day long. So I don't think that's very accurate. Just from my assessment of it. You know what I'm saying? And these younger women are starting to feel the effects of more and more young men soaking up the red pill philosophy, whatever it may be, right, in their life. I tell y'all all the time, don't try to live your life how you think other people think you should live your life. Live life the way you want to. The purpose of going red pill is waking up to everything, not just relationships, to everything in our society. When I talk a little bit of politics, when I talk a little bit about what's going on socially in the world, that's how you truly red pill. And you see how things are and you choose to go a different route. And a lot of these young men are starting to go in their own direction. They're not just following the road that is already paved for them. They're paving their own road. A lot of these guys are just screwing these girls, man. They're running through these girls and they don't even know these girls' last name, right? And they're noticing that. They're noticing these guys are just doing their own thing. They're not desperate to get into a relationship. They're not lying to them saying, hey, let's date. I want to marry. They're not saying that stuff anymore. They don't have time for that. Let's look at the video again.
It's worse when a girl cheats because, when a guy cheats, he's just having sex. That's all it is, okay? Guys are horny 24/7. They are made to mate. So when he cheats, it's literally one thing leads to another. They smash, boom, he never talks to her again. Done and over with, right? Not for a girl. Girls are not horny 24/7. So when a girl cheats, most of the time, she's going to talk to a guy for a few weeks, okay? She's going to link up with him a few times, and then she's going to cheat. Is she going to cut him off? No. Why? Because girls get attached after sex. So she can't just cut him off. So not only is she smashing a dude, but she gave her time, her effort, her attention, all to another dude while she had a boyfriend. Is a guy going to do that? No, because he doesn't care about getting to know the girl. He didn't care to invest in her on an emotional level. Girls invest in another male on an emotional level, which is 10 times worse. It's first degree. It's planned out, and it's fucked up.
This is why I tell you guys. That not all women are thinking the same all the time. Now, you do have a lot of women who will come together socially if they feel like it's going to affect them, right? And they will try to combat any type of messaging that's put out there against them. They feel like it's against them, right? But to be honest with you, there are women who are breaking away from that. They're going to be called pick-me's, you know. Now, again, this is, to my understanding, not a melanated female. She may have some melanin in her. So we can't say that she's some, you know, black pick-me. You got women of all different ethnic groups who may feel the same way she does because they're noticing it in all the communities. Look at the Caucasian guys. Even before I started making videos, they were speaking about the issues with the women in their communities. So this stuff goes deep. This stuff goes deep. These younger women are seeing what's going on. They don't want to be like their mothers or aunts. They don't want to be like those women. They don't want to be older and miserable, you know, babysitting their grandkids because they had kids when they were teenagers. So now they're young grannies taking care of their grands. They can't even go out. They don't have a social life. They don't have a dating life, you know. So they're trying to, well, slowly say, hey, you know, I'm not a part of that crowd. You know, you can call me a pick-me all you want to. I'd rather be a pick-me and be happy than be miserable, pointing the finger and blaming everybody for why I can't keep nobody. You know, it's it shows you where we are. And they can't say it's men saying this. You got women saying the similar things to what we have said. It ain't just the men. You know, it's a cop-out. You know, when you look at people like this young lady and you hear people try to use shaming tactics towards us as men, right? They try to use shaming tactics towards us to try to keep us from putting the truth out there. And the truth is that a lot of modern women, and even the women, the generation before them, they're done. They're done. And they know it. They have relatively nothing to choose from. That's why they're all retreating to dating apps. A lot of them are hopping on YouTube now. I'm noticing a lot of new females content creating, distancing themselves from the sisterhood of old, right? They're distancing themselves from those type of women to say, hey, men, I'm different than them. And these heifers are done. I know people want to say that, you know, why would you say that? I'm saying it towards the women who have internalized their bitterness. They've internalized it and they have completely destroyed any chance of being happy. And there are other women, like the young lady we've been talking about, who are waking up and realizing, I don't want that to be my future. But that's going to be the future of women that don't wake up and realize that they are going in the wrong direction. A lot of these women are going in the wrong direction and they need to be put in the right direction. That's why only a certain type of woman can listen to me and understand what I'm saying. I don't come from a place of hate. I come from a place of understanding your future. Understanding that it's going to come a point where men are just going to say, hey, I'm just trying to sleep with you. I'm not trying to be in no relationship. What is a relationship? Marriage? What is a marriage? I want nothing to do with that. And a lot of them don't understand it. They don't understand that's going to be your future because you played around. You play games. I said in the video today that I did about Lil Baby, right? And his ex-girlfriend, you know, wanting to be a wife instead of a baby mama. I don't know what you expect chasing rappers. But you can't all of a sudden try to change course that you chose. You already got a kid by one of these guys. Now you're a single mother. Now you're regretting certain choices that you made that you know you should have known better. The one thing I can say about Saweetie, Quavo's ex, is that she didn't get pregnant yet because she has a certain future mapped out for herself. A lot of these other women don't. So they end up getting older. They're single mothers. They're bitter. Their dating life is taking a hit. They're not getting the type of men that they want to commit to them. And these young ladies see their future, and they don't want that to be their future. But it's going to be their future if they don't wake up and understand that you need to stop with the peer pressure. Don't let these women peer pressure you into joining their bitter club of heifers who cannot keep a man. There are other ways of gaining love in your life. You cannot follow the playbook of failures. You can't, because you're going to fail. Your dating life is going to fail. You're going to fail yourself. You're not going to be happy. Men are wisening up. They realize now they don't have to commit to you. We already know what your type is. And there are men that are going to fake it until they can get with you, because they already know what you're into. They understand you, which is why you keep getting played. And these younger women are noticing that, and they're saying, hey, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be these women. I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be on YouTube blaming everybody for why I'm single. I don't want to blame them for why I can't lose weight. I don't want to blame them because my skin tone isn't the right tone. Every excuse in the book for why you single. Every excuse in the book. But we as men, we're not afforded that. We're not afforded all these excuses. Either we fit a certain type or we don't. We just move on. Some of these guys have an issue with me saying that, well, you should choose who choose you. I do believe that. I do believe that. Now, if you want to veer off and try your luck, do it. But if you're disappointed, you can't get mad at the women, because you have to understand your limitations. Become the best you that you could possibly be. And you're going to attract the women that you want. But again, it's all about understanding who you are and understanding disappointment. A lot of you are going to be disappointed before you actually find what you're looking for, because it's growing pains, man. Nobody likes rejection. Nobody likes to be told no, but it happens, right? A lot more of these women get rejected than y'all know. A lot more of these women are interested in men that aren't interested in them. So I just think that a lot of these younger women are waking up, and they're looking at these women on YouTube and these live streams, on these videos, and they're saying to themselves, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be on a live stream blaming everything in the book for why I'm single. I don't want to be these women in these Instagram posts putting up pictures from every different angle looking for daily validation. I don't want to be these women who get these surgeries and they look like complete clowns. I saw a video today, man, and this I think she's a Caucasian female. She was dancing in the video, right? And I guess she had her assets done, and man, she looked like a, y'all know the pencil, the pencil erasers, right? She looked like one of those L-shaped pencil erasers. That's how her assets looked. I mean, they just stood out. They just stood out. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like she was wearing like butt pads all of a sudden, man. It was crazy. But they go and they get this work done because they're like, this is going to attract the men that I want. And it ends up doing the exact opposite. It doesn't attract the men you want. It attracts the men that just wants to smash. Right? And I came across another video. I'm probably talk about it in another live stream. There was this guy, he made a TikTok video, of course. And he talked about how he sees so much big assets all over the place, right? He said that back in the day, you would just hope you could see a chick who's thick in the hips, big in the backside. But now all these chicks look that way, either naturally or unnaturally. And it's just not special anymore. I mean, social media is oversaturated with women who show nothing but their assets off. There's nothing special about it. That's why these women are getting more and more desperate. Okay? You got women that don't even need work done getting work done because they're so desperate to compete. What are you competing with? You're competing with yourself because you're only going to look like a fool. You go and you get this work done and you looking crazy. You're getting clowned. You think that you look good, but you're being clowned. You look like you built wrong. You know, when you can take that money and go hire you somebody to help train you to get you the legs and the hips and the assets that you want. You could take that money and pay for training or whatnot instead of going through all that surgery, because I've heard some horror stories. Women can't sit down for months because of the work they be getting done, man. Women losing their lives over trying to compete with the bigger butts. Modern women's mindsets are messed up. That's why I said a lot of, the modern women with that mind state of attention seeking, they're done because they're going to slowly lose their mind over the fact that they do all that and they still can't keep a man. They still can't get the men that they want. It's an uphill battle to get to where they want to go. But again, that's the route they chose. That's the route they chose. You know? At the end of the day, people, you got to find confidence in yourself. And in regards to cheating, let me say this. Everybody's doing it. Men are doing it. Women are doing it. It's just something that's going on. It's just something that's going on. And now these younger women are starting to notice that they can't even be friends with women anymore. You know why? Because those women are trying to screw their boyfriends or screw their husbands. So they completely distance themselves from women as friends. And they end up having men as friends. And then the cycle continues. And then the cycle continues, fam. The cycle completely continues. Shout out to everybody that's here. Make sure y'all like the stream too. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. What's good, Wanda? If you find a good chick, hide her like Eddie Murphy said have. Yeah, it's the cycle of life, man. Yeah, let's hit the like, man. Let's get the like button up, man. We're talking about the awakening of these women, these younger women, and they're distancing themselves from a lot of these bitter females on social media. They on live streams, videos, angry at everybody. Angry at everybody, right? Can't keep no man, just hurt. We here to heal them. Let's look at this video again. I'm starting to love this video. Let's look at it again. Okay, here we go.
Girls cheat more, and I think it's worse when a girl cheats because, okay, when a guy cheats, he's just having sex. That's all it is, okay? Guys are horny 24/7. They are made to mate. So when he cheats, it's literally one thing leads to another. They smash, boom, he never talks to her again. Done and over with, right? Not for a girl. Girls are not horny 24/7. So when a girl cheats, most of the time, she's going to talk to a guy for a few weeks, okay? She's going to link up with him a few times, and then she's going to cheat. Is she going to cut him off? No. Why? Because girls get attached after sex.
Oh.
So she can't just cut him off. So not only is she smashing a dude, but she gave her time, her effort, her attention, all to another dude while she had a boyfriend. Is a guy going to do that? No, because he doesn't care about getting to know the girl. He didn't care to invest in her on an emotional level. Girls invest in another male on an emotional level, which is 10 times worse. It's first degree. It's planned out, and it's fucked up.
It is. It's very fucked up, man. You know? It is. But I want y'all to understand that nowadays things are so different. Social media changed the game. Like, you know, we can talk to anybody across the world. Like, I've taken phone calls on my show from people from different countries, different continents. So we can talk to anybody, anywhere, no matter what city, state, right through messaging. Right? So things have just changed, man. I mean, for men too, but, you know, men got to campaign a little bit. Women can put feelers out there and have about 20, 30 people in males in her, you know, trying to get with her. So I just think times are different, man. People are different. No. I wouldn't say people are. I think people are just more. They're more of who they are, just openly. Like if you see a woman, right, who is all of a sudden very sexual, dressed more sexually, they're giving off more of that vibe, but you've never noticed it before. It's because they're comfortable becoming more and more of who they are publicly. Privately, that's who they are. Privately, you know. All right, people, let's take a few. Hold on. Let's take a few phone calls, shall we? Shall we take a few phone calls? Call in. And yes, I would like to hear the ladies' input. I don't want just a whole bunch of guys calling in. I have to do that disclaimer. Because I know some of the ladies hear all these guys. They're like, it's a lot of guys calling in. Because, you know, dudes like to hold up the lines, man. The ladies call in. You know? Yeah, call in, talk to Jada Black. And make sure, again, let's keep the lights going. We got about 450. They even get the lights to about 460. You know? Now, again, people are going to say this is a young lady, but sometimes you got to hear the youth mind state on what's going on. Yo, you're live. What's up?
Hey, Jay, it's Sarah. You already know.
Yo,
to talk about
yeah,
this
what's good, Sarah?
This
up?
is right up my alley.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
Yeah, well, I would first like to say I've never been in no one-night stand situations.
Okay.
I've always been a girl who's liked to be in relationships,
Okay.
loyal relationships. But what she says is true. I mean, I don't mean to put nobody under the bus, but I used to talk to a girl. We went to the same college. She doesn't live here anymore, but when she was down here, like, she was basically boy hungry, you know, like, oh, that's all she would talk about all day, every day. And she's had at least 4 different partners, you know. I'm not trying to judge her or anything, but she's become attached to all 4 of them. She just can't let them go. She's dated 2 of them, and she's in love with only 1 of them now. But she's still thinking about those other guys. And it's like, wow, like, that's crazy. And she's like, yeah, you should try it. I'm like, what? Like, I'm good, sis, but you do you. You know, like, I'm not trying to judge you. You do your thing. You know,
right.
like, I'm not here to tell you what to do. But me personally, if I was going to do one night stand, I would at least be single, because I can't do it. You know, like, imagine, like, you cheat on your partner with another dude that you became emotionally invested in. That's basically like a slap to the face. Like,
right.
I couldn't face him after that. Are you kidding? I would be so ashamed. Like, I would feel so guilty, especially like when he gives me that look, that
Uh
those sad puppy eyes. I can't resist that. You know what I mean? Like that's what he would use to get what he wants, the sad
huh.
puppy eyes, and I can't resist that. So imagine me trying to hurt his feelings. I couldn't do it either. But I don't expect him to do it to me because he was very loyal to me.
Okay.
He's very calculating as well, so he
Uh,
wouldn't just jump into a situation like that. He don't even mess with women like that. He's like, women are a headache. He's like, it's not for you, but women are a headache. I'm like, yeah, I don't have many female friends. I have like maybe four female
okay.
friends I'm very close with, but my circle is very small because some of these females are snakes. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you can have your boyfriend, your husband. You can't leave him in a room with that female. She about to jump on him as soon as you leave that door, and we better have a fight because I'm not about to deal with no female trying to steal my man. And
Right.
if my man is loyal to me, he's not gonna make no moves on her.
Right.
Um, I think that's what women need to understand. Stop trying to chase after the married men because the married men are just looking for that one night stand. They're not looking for anything else. And
Mhm.
after that, they're gonna go back to your wife. I'm so tired of side chicks believing that he's gonna leave his wife for you. Like, hello, he put a
Yeah.
ring
Yeah.
on
That's
her
not. Yeah.
finger,
That's not gonna
not
happen.
yours.
Yeah. That's not gonna
I,
happen.
don't- I was drunk the last time. I apologize about that, but my head is perfectly clear today.
Oh, that's
Yes,
good.
please,
Sound like it.
ladies, do better.
Uh huh.
I'm good. I'm good today. I'm good today.
All
It
right.
was a bad week the last time, a very bad week.
Oh.
Terrible. But I'm here to tell you, ladies, please, there's a bunch of fine, sexy poppy chulos out here, okay? Especially Miami. If you're trying to look for them, come down here, okay? A lot of them won't be loyal to you, but at least they fine, right? So if you're
Uh,
looking for that one night stand, just come down here. But if you're looking for loyalty, go somewhere else because if he's rich or if he's famous,
huh.
chances are he's messing with more than just one female, and you need to accept that. Unless he chooses to be with you, because as we all know, men are the ones who choose their wife. Women are the
Right.
ones who choose who they want to date, but the man is the one who's gonna choose out of the group of girls who he wants to marry. So if you happen to be that lucky girl, then you happen to be that lucky girl. But if he hasn't given you any hints or specified that he wants to be with just you and only you,
Right.
then don't expect an unrealistic notion like, oh my God, he's gonna put a ring on my finger. Oh my God, he bought me a Gucci bag. He must love me. Like, no, girl, he's just paying you off. He's
Uh
paying
huh.
you off in a fancy way. I'm just saying, like, they really be letting it get to their heads. Like, I need to stop tripping. But that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to
Okay.
hold you up.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Sarah.
All
Cool.
right.
Well, thanks for the call. All right. Appreciate it. Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. And shout out to Sarah with the call in. All right. Lines open again. Yo, what's going on?
Jay the Black.
What's up?
It's Adam from Philadelphia. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. What's going on?
Nothing, man. I'm just tuning back in, man.
All right.
This is, another example of what you've been talking about forever.
Mm-hmm.
Forever, man. Like, it don't surprise me, man.
Well, it's
It
a
do
sign of
not surprise
times.
me.
It's a sign of times. I think that we're in now that women are now calling out the problems that women are having nowadays, as far as them
Yeah,
cheating
'cause
and not being
yeah,
faithful. If men are doing it, it's going to be seen as, well, it's typically, men talking about women again and what women do and how
right,
women think, right?
right,
Mm-hmm.
right, man. Right. So, like, and they get mad at each other too. It's like, well, don't tell what's going on, what's really going on. And they like, no, I'm tired, because they tired of being, in them situations. Like, the girl on the screen, she's single.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to stay single. You know what I'm saying? Most of the women, they be like, oh, I want somebody, and they just stay single forever. For real, they just over with. It's over, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's over with. You know what I mean? She just venting. That's all. Like, I just see women venting. I see men venting. You know what I mean? Crying rivers about women. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my homies, he got.
That's why I
I'm
tell
sorry,
that's why I tell these guys don't come to me with the whole, stay away from women, don't date women when they date women.
Right.
Don't tell people not to do something you're doing actively. So yeah.
Right. Right. It's like, I mean, you gonna want to have a woman. It's like, proceed with caution. That's all I got to say. Like, if you're gonna be with somebody, just know that it might not work out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It ain't whatever. It's gonna be good, and then it's gonna be bad, and then it's gonna get ugly. Just prepare for the ugly. You know what I'm saying? That's what I be telling guys.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And then if you ain't, if you ain't got nobody, you just ain't got nobody. If you got somebody, just keep them at arm's length. That's what I do. I keep them at arm's length.
Okay.
Because I ain't going to let no woman come in my situation and fuck me over. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I done been through that. So I'm like, I'm like weathered to that shit. Like, I can see what, you know what I mean? Like, you can see what's what from the gate. And then, you cut them off. Yeah. But I'm going to keep it brief, though. I'm going to holler at you, man. You have a good night. You know what I mean? Everybody in the chat, get a blessing.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, man. Thanks, all right?
All right.
All right, man. Shout out to him, to call in. There's somebody that's been trying to call in. The lines are open now. I've been seeing your number flash up. Call in now. Don't call up here with unknown numbers. I'm not answering unknown numbers. Call in here with your number. Don't call with an unknown number. Yo, you're live with Jada Black. What's going on?
Yo, what's Gucci, Brody?
Nothing much, man. What's up?
Ain't nothing too much. Just calling in to react, bro. Basically, I just see it like a lot of these ladies, especially the younger ladies, they're tired of the lies. Because women, they just lie to each other too much about who the problem is, what the problem is. They sit around with single women too much, hearing single women complaints instead of asking for advice from married women or respectable men. Right. And this is just an example of a lady saying, like, look, we can all go out here and say that we're savages and it's a hot girl summer and all this stuff, but people are losing respect from you. There's men that would have chose you. They're watching you from a distance. Yep. They're losing respect for you. And at the end of the day, this generation, back in the day, you could be like a 40-year-old chick, no kids, never married. It was kind of like shameful. You know what I mean? Yeah. But now, this current generation, they're kind of more prideful. They don't want to be shamed. Yeah. The problem is, they're on the internet almost being braggadocious that they're so happy, but at the same time blaming men for why they don't have marriage and a kid. And it's just not adding up because everybody can eventually see through it, or you start talking and everybody can hear that it's BS and it just falls apart. So, maybe also sometimes people just make these points just a trend. So I don't know if she really thinks this.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I've heard women say similar things like this for years, but you can hear the insincerity in their voice when they say it,
Exactly.
But with her, this has been one of the few times I've heard sincerity.
It only time will tell, what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's a supply and demand game too. That's a lot of things that people just don't want to accept. It's cut and dry. Like, you have to be competitive, but even sometimes, even if you're good, even if you're doing everything right, you might not win just off of just straight supply and demand out here in these streets. You know what I mean? So you can get emotional about it or blame other people for it or stuff, but if you're not putting your best foot forward, which is not moving in a way where a man thinks you're a respectable woman who's not going to cheat on him, no man is going to date a woman that he thinks is going to cheat on him. That basically means that you're going to let people in my house, to do God knows what to me. People watch Discovery ID 24/7. You think they don't watch it? You know what I'm saying? People get murdered by cheating spouses and they want to get married, let alone dudes posting TikToks about how they lost half their shit. Like, you got to be real, ladies. So it's like, if we have 100 women to choose from and you want to be with the 20, 30 girls, 40 girls over there who want to be unapologetically loose and, hot girl summer, and think you're going to change your Instagram and delete some photos and, post some memes and think no one's going to smell it off you. You can't act like a hoe for like a year, 5, 10 years, and then meet a guy and not give off that energy. You think you can mask it when you meet Mr. Right, but most men can smell it if they haven't seen it from a distance because they followed you or knew about you. You know what I mean? So just because you meet somebody and y'all click doesn't mean that's the first time that person knew about you or peeped you. So you got to be mindful of that, how you move in these streets.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
But thanks, bro. I don't want to hold up the line.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
All right, man. Well, thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. All right.
No problem.
Shout out to him. All right. The line's open again. No unknown numbers. I've had clowns call in on unknown numbers. Listen, your number's safe with me. Okay. I don't even remember half the number they call in. So call in, talk to me. If you want to speak on this topic, I'll take a few more calls. Why not? Yeah, man. I'm telling you, side chick energy is going to be heavy this summer. I mean, I said in the little baby video, it's spring already. Summer is right around the corner. The country's gonna be opening back up. Beaches. I mean, sundresses, all shorts. I mean, it's just gonna be that type of energy this summer. People really couldn't do that last year. They were too busy rioting, or in the house. So this summer, you're gonna see a lot of side chick energy, and I'm gonna do a live show on side chick energy. That almost was the topic of this stream, but I want to build towards it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot of side chick energy this summer. There's a lot of relationships breaking up. A lot of women leaving their boyfriends, probably leaving their husbands, because they want to have fun this summer. They're gonna be going on a few trips, maybe. Watch some of these people who were booed up a month ago, tax season, stimulus, checks. Once that run out, relationships are going to be over. The dudes going to leave because they was only there for the money. And, you got females that, going to be leaving because they bored. Y'all done bored these women. Now they going to be looking for excitement. Tell you, it's going to be side chick energy all summer long. Yo, you're live. What's good?
Hello?
Yo, what's going on, man?
Oh, is this Jada Black?
This Jada Black. What's up, man?
Oh, wow. What's going on, man? Hey, this is John out of Strasburg, PA.
What's good, John?
I didn't think I was going to get on here that fast. Not much going on, brother. Actually, following you on Twitter, too. Actually, I'm under Jelani.
Jelani, okay.
Yeah, I tag a lot of your stuff, man. I like your show. But yeah, there's a lot of these chicks out here feel like they can live however they want to live, and there's not gonna be no consequences. A lot of that has to do with that came from that whole feminist mentality that they can have it all. Can't sit there and think that a dude is gonna be with you, and you can't shame a virtue signal into accepting somebody who's been passed through half the town and think he's gonna wipe you up, and he's just gonna accept that. Okay, because at the end of the day, the woman's got a high enough body count. The question is, how loyal is she going to be to you? And how serious she's going to take the relationship and intimacy you have with her at that point. Because obviously she don't see it as anything special. And I'll say I've dated some of them chicks like that. And believe me, they ain't no damn good, man. They ain't no good. You know what I'm saying? But live and learn, man.
Right.
Live and
absolutely.
learn. I mean, I had chicks sleep with some of my fucking men, you know what I'm saying? So let's just keep that real, man. I know, and there's some dudes out there might be laughing, but believe me, I know I'm far from alone. You know what I mean? So it happens, and and at the end of the day, you got to keep your standards up. A lot of dudes got to keep their standards up. Unfortunately, there's too many simps out here that make excuses for this crap. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
but
man.
You know what?
Yeah, man. I've noticed an uptick in Captain Save-A-Ho activity over the past, I would say, less than a year. There's been an uptick in Captain Save-A-Ho behavior going on. So yeah. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Captain Save-A-Ho don't seem to realize those women will sit there smiling your face and give you a pat on the back, and then you know what? You be like if you get to smell the panties, and if you do get to smell the panties, best believe she ain't gonna be with you for very long. She might.
Right.
She might give you she might be a little cheerleader for like, yeah, you saying the right thing, but she don't respect you.
Nope.
She don't respect you. She just gonna play you like a sucker because you are. You a sucker, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You think? See, that's what. You know what? That's the thing. Like somebody made a statement. I can't remember who it was, but I think they said feminism exists because men allowed it to, and that's true. And it's because a lot of these simps who sit here and try to make excuses and call themselves throwing on a cape for these chicks, and they ain't worth it, man, because they're so desperate for a piece of cooch that they're just willing to say whatever. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, it's not you, girl. He don't appreciate you. Blah 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 blah. And they can keep these little simps around, and at the end of the day, they don't want the simps. They want dudes they complain about.
They don't want the simps. They don't.
Nope.
They want the guy who's
all,
criticizing them and checking them. You're not doing that. You're in there to be a shoulder to cry on. You're a lame. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're right, because you know what? That the dude who they complain about is the one that gets their coochie wet. You don't.
Exactly.
Because that dude puts them in their place. Because truth be told, whether women want to admit it or not, they want to be put in their place. They want a dude who got enough respect for themselves to check them when they're out of line. They might not admit that, but in their heart of hearts, that's really what they want. They want a dude that they can respect, that and they're forced to respect, or else the consequences are that, guess what? Kick rocks. It's that simple. And you know what? A lot of us, and I'm a Gen Xer, there was a lot of simps in my generation. I hate to say it. But you know what? We're also a lot of dudes that turn red pill in the long run. And we're telling a lot of younger guys that, hey, listen, don't do it because it ain't worth it. None of these chicks are worth it. They're not worth it, man.
I agree, man.
All right. It was nice talking to you, Jay.
Hey, it was nice talking to you too, man. Good call. All right. Appreciate it.
Yep, thanks. No problem.
All right, man. Shout out to John. Also, John. Yeah, man. It's crazy out here. And speaking of simps, I had one jackass, a simp Latino. This Latino simp, he messaged me. I put it briefly on Patreon. I took it back down. His response, right? This clown was mad because I called out Michael Clown Rappaport, and I clowned him for the KD situation. He didn't like it. Yo, you're live with Jada Black. What's going on? Yo, what's up?
Am I gonna be on the show? Cause I'm.
You're live. You're live right now. You're live right now. What's up?
Oh, okay. I'm calling because I want to talk about the simp situation. I don't really like the word simp, and the only reason why is because I feel like the nice guys hear this word and they start saying, "Oh, I don't want to be a simp. I don't want to be a simp."
No, well, my definition is different. My definition is a guy who will do anything to sleep with a woman. Being nice to a woman doesn't mean that you're doing anything to sleep. I mean, simp behavior is dirty macking, right? Trying to get with another man's woman, especially if he knows them. A guy who's willing to, just fly in with the cape on and, just defend her when she doesn't need to be defended or can be defended. He just finds any type of wiggle room to get the attention of a woman just to sleep with her. He's willing to lie. He's willing to deceive. He's willing to do whatever it takes to get with her. Being nice to a woman doesn't equal a simp. That's different. A lot of guys are nice, but they could be, because I knew nice guys that you piss them off, man, they beat the living shit out of you. So, I mean, to me, I don't think being a nice, genuine dude means that you're a simp. Whoever's saying is an idiot.
Okay.
You know what I'm
saying? Okay, yeah, because where I'm from, if a guy does something nice for a girl, they say, "Oh, you simping. You a simp, bro. Like, you simp if you're doing anything nice for a girl." So I just always thought, so when I hear the word simp, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're calling the nice guys simp, so there's going to be no nice people left. So I guess your definition is completely different, but where we say it, where we're from, it's a bad thing. So I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. But I have seen, it's kind of hard to find out who's actually there for you and who actually just wants to get some. You know what I mean? So I say to women, the best thing that you can do is, if somebody is showing you, a good time, and they're not even bringing up any type of sex, you look good, at some point, at some point you probably, if you're attracted to this person, you're going on a date with them in the first place, you know? So at some point that's going to happen. But when men move too fast, it's just super unattractive. And men, there are some people out there that think you just want to use me for this and you just want to use me for that. And it's like, I don't have to get dressed and go out with you. I know how to cook. I can go out and pay for my own meal. So I'm just like, I would rather, if a girl's going to go out on a date with somebody, she can just set things down the first date. She's like, you know, I don't move too fast. I've been hurt in the past. I've been this, I've been that, or anything, whatever reason. And I feel like that can help a lot of women in the future. I watch a lot of these shows where these men are telling men, don't be this for a woman. Don't do this for a woman. It's like, it's not bringing us any forward. It's just taking us back. And there's a lot of men that are trash, and they listen to this, and they're like, oh, yeah, they're right. I shouldn't treat girls like this. And it's like, you don't know how to treat women.
Well, hold on. Let me say this. I know people do things differently. Not everybody are the same. People do things differently. You know, I don't believe in going out of my way to do things for people that I don't know or care about. Now, you can do nice gestures of goodwill, right? But if you're going out of your way for a woman, you need to let your intentions known to that woman that you want to date her or sleep with her. You know, if you're not making your intentions known, yeah, you're going to come off like a sucker. Shout out to Abby with the super chat. Right. You're going to come off as a sucker because you're not being honest about your intentions. You're doing all these things for a reason.
And no, people aren't honest. If a woman was just like, I'm with you because of the money, and a man is like, I'm with you because I'm trying to sleep with you, then they'll both be like, well, dang, we both about to get used now. They can see if they want to go forward. Just like with, you know, getting married. If a man is just like, I'm never going to marry you. I don't want to marry you. That's not what I want to do. It can give the women can either sit there and change and say, you know what, maybe I can change his mind. You can either sit there and become a fool, or you can listen to what he said and you can move on, you know? And that's the problem with a lot of people. They're just not honest. They get into these things and they're like, oh, yeah, I do love you. I care about you. And I'm doing this because of my past. And I'm doing this because of that. And it's like, no, you're doing this because you have no respect for me. You do not care about where this relationship is going. You know what I mean? And I feel what you're saying completely. I'm happy that I called in because I just always, when I hear things, I just feel like it's always just like men are so much better and women are just trash. And I just feel like, oh, my gosh, you don't need to listen to stuff like that, man. Go to somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're talking about. That you know. I think you're listening to people who they have their own issues, and you know. Yeah, and you can see like, but I don't want to make this long-winded. But thank you for taking my call, and I'm happy that I spoke to you.
All right, no problem. Take care. All right.
You too. Bye-bye.
Well, shout out to her. She has some questions. I want to clarify it because I know they hear rhetoric from other people who say just anything that comes to mind, and like when they come over here with that, I'm gonna tell them like it. I'm telling them like it is. I'm like, stop listening to bullshit and listen to logic and what makes sense, right? Stop listening to bullshit, man. You got guys telling men not to date women, but they're dating women. They tell men not to marry, but you married. Like what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Don't date single mothers. They got about 5 kids. Come on, man. Shout out to Amazi. Live here. Yeah, stop listening to some of these crazy people, man. Y'all need to listen to people that got common sense. What I speak on is in the real world. People are speaking on, even though, my zodiac sign is of a dolphin who dreams, right? But I can't even dream up a way to deal with women in relationships like some of these guys do. You know, and that's why I tell y'all need to stop listening to bullshit. Seriously. And I tell women this all the time. They come to me with all this rah BS they done heard on somebody's channel or somebody's page, and you gotta deprogram them. Some of these guys gotta be deprogrammed. if they willing to listen and say, hey, you got to live in reality, bro. Shout out to Vernon with the cash out. I appreciate that, Vernon. Live in reality. Some of y'all not living in reality. I know I am. I'm living in reality. Some of these guys are not. And a lot of women aren't too. That's why a lot of them are mad. Because they feel like they should have more than what they have. And that's just not the case. You have exactly what you're supposed to have. You know? Salute to everybody that's here. But like I was saying, I had this Latino simp who wanted to hop to the defense of Michael Rappaport. And he said that, now I saw the Facebook message. I didn't respond. I sort of chuckled at it. And he was mad because I took KD's side. He said, you're taking KD's side because he's black. You know, I might put the post up on my for my channel members so y'all can chuckle at it too. And you know, he's mad because he thought I took KD's side because he's black. I took KD's side because Michael Rappaport is a goofball who regretted what he did because he knew what he did was wrong, made him like an even bigger fool and a clown. And the thing about this Latino simp is that he's with she's either a black woman or Afro-Latina. It might be Afro-Latina. So you got one of these guys who have an inferiority complex when it comes to black men. Just like the Army sergeant in Colombia. He has an inferiority complex when it comes to black males. These guys got all this inferiority complex when it comes to black men, and they wonder why their wives and girlfriends are out actively seeking black men because they can sense your inferiority complex. And then you want to come to me with all this energy, knowing full well your wife probably runs your household. You go around social media angry at black men for no reason because you disagree with them. That's what's going on out here. You guys are complete clowns. You're out here trying to fight somebody's battles. You guys are looking goofy out here. Your wives are out screwing other men. I guarantee you. That Army sergeant in Colombia, his wife is screwing other men. I guarantee you. She looked like she's insecure. And I'm going to address that on the Patreon because I'm going to say some things that I'm not going to be saying here. Michael Rappaport is somebody who wishes he was black, but isn't. So he tries his hardest to date black women and try to act as tough as he can in his videos, knowing full well he is not that type of guy. He's an actor. He's a wannabe. He just like Max Kellerman back in the day. He's another guy that wishes he was a black man. I know some of you ain't gonna like that, but listen, I have to speak the truth on these people. These people need to hear the truth. Some of these guys wish they had that melanin, that swagger, and they don't. Yo, what's up? Yo, what's going on? Yo. Must have been a butt dial. I don't know what that was, man. Or maybe they didn't know they was on live. But yeah, man, listen, you non-black males, you goofs, don't message me in your feels. You simping over another man. You got a whole woman at home. I think she's a woman. And I'm just saying, KD was right about Shannon Sharp. You know, he checked Shannon Sharp, which was hilarious. And he made Michael Rappaport expose himself as a clown. Yeah, Shy. Yo, you live. What's up?
Hey, yo, Jay. Sorry about that. I wanted to call back again, but I was listening to that last female caller, And I just wanted to make a quick response to what you said. First of all, a simp is a specific type of dude. That is not a guy that's nice. Actually, being a simp has nothing to do with nice.
Right.
It has to do with actually ultimately.
I know a lot of angry simps. I had an angry simp message me the other day.
Yep. So this whole idea that simps are nice, she's conflating two different things. A nice person is a person. See, the thing is, it's fine to be nice, but what it has to be is some of the things or the charity that you give have to be earned. There's too many women who are entitled nowadays to think that they should just get it just because they're female, and that it should be expected of you as a man. But then when you expect things from women, it's like, oh, wait a minute, why should I have to do this and that, and why should I be expected? Well, guess what? Because that's life, honey, and it works both ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, respect is supposed to be a two-way street. And when you do things that give me a reason to respect you, when you respect yourself, then guess what? You're going to get respect. When you disrespect somebody else, guess what? You're going to be disrespected. But a simp is a specific type of dude. That has nothing to do with being nice. Simps, even if they're not angry, a simp has nothing to do with being nice. A simp is really just an opportunist. Like you said, dirty macking. That's really what a simp is.
Oh, yeah.
And simple step on his, and if it's simple step on his own homeboy's dick, excuse my language, for something, just because, you know what, he sees an opportunity. He got no man code. Simps don't have a man code. But see, when chicks want to come on and try to say, well, I don't want, women are all bad and all stuff. No, the problem is women have not been for a long time been actually looked at and been put under a microscope. Dudes are put under a microscope all the time. But see, now what's happening is with red pill and things of that nature, guys are starting to say, well, wait a minute, you know what? We got to evaluate this, and we got to say, okay, we got to look at female nature, look at it for what it is, and deal with it accordingly.
Right.
Okay? Hell, a lot of guys were nice in the beginning. A lot of guys turned red pill because they, got played by a chick. So this whole idea of somebody being nice, or if it wasn't so much they got played, they misunderstood that female's nature, and because of that, they were under impression that they shouldn't have been. And, some people had to get their hearts broke. Some people had to basically be humiliated or whatever the case is. But guess what? We all have, some points in life where we have failures.
Right.
That's part of learning. But the reality of it is, let's not get to the point where we start saying, well, we don't want to use the word simp because that denotes this. No, see, we can't start letting people re-legislate meanings of words in order to divert the energy, because that's another thing that people want to do. They want to say, oh, well, if you say it's simp, so any guy's that's nice is a simp, right? No, it's saying that any guy who's willing to disrespect himself and others, ultimately, just to get in a girl's pants, that's not a nice guy. That's an opportunist.
Absolutely,
because
definitely
at the end of the day, he's not really about that life. He's not really so much caring about you. He's gonna say whatever he's got to say, and be the guy that he thinks you want him to be at that moment. And then you know what? He's gonna go do something else.
Absolutely.
Or eventually, even if you do get with him, the girl's gonna ends up getting sick of him anyway, because again, they don't respect that dude. Because you know what? Sometimes a woman wants a man to tell them no. They want to see what that's called shit testing. They want to see what type of dude you are. So a simp is a specific type of dude. It's not anything about being nice. Really, simphood has nothing to do with being nice. It has more to do with basically being an opportunist and just saying, well, I'm going to say and do what I got to do, and I got no sense of man code, so I'm going to go step on another dude, and I'll talk that dude down behind this dude's back, who might even be my boy, if I think I can get in that chick's pants.
Yeah. All right, man. I gotta go, man. Appreciate the call. All right.
Let me get you going. All right. No problem.
Peace, bro. Peace. He said, quick call, man. Quick. I got these other callers trying to call in, man. But shout out to you, man. Make sure that y'all like the stream. All right. There was somebody trying to call in. Listen, if you're listening, try to call back in because the line's open right now. Yeah. Yo, you live. What's going on?
Yo, what's up, man? I just started listening to the stream about like 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
So the topic of the stream is, it says this woman says women are cheating more than men. I believe that's true because a lot of times, women are very sneaky with how they cheat and stuff like that. I remember I watched a video of it was this couple. They were having a conversation, and this girlfriend was using her phone or whatever, but she was on the right side of a mirror. So the boyfriend said, "Hey, babe, what are you doing?" She said, "Nothing, just minding my business." And the whole time, he asked her what she was doing because he already saw what she was doing due to the reflection that came from the mirror.
Yeah,
and when,
yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I seen that video. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So you got to peep, like, if she lied to him like that in front of his face, just imagine, you know what I'm saying, what she doing behind closed doors and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that's sad nowadays, bro, is like how dudes, whether I'm 22, dudes, whether they my age or your age, like, why do dudes care so much about females, bro? I mean, it's like, they look good, okay, when you fucking them, it feels good, okay, but, I mean, your purpose should come first before anything else, because if you don't have any money, if you're not financially stable, if you don't have your own car, house, what female is going to want to, deal with you, bro? You know what I'm saying?
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised, man. I mean, you got a lot of guys that ain't got a dime to their name, and they're able to get women that are all the way from educated, corporate America to, just living off government assistance. I mean, you'd be surprised how these guys can maneuver who have nothing.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that. I definitely know a lot of dudes who, like you said, they don't have nothing. They don't have anything on it, nothing. No credit score is 350 and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I always ask myself this question, right? Because like I said, I'm 22. I'm young enough to, like, have been through the generation where I grew up not playing games. I grew up going outside, playing basketball, football, playing Connect Four, whatever. I grew up experiencing what it was like to not be in the house all day playing video games and shit like that.
Right.
Is it just me, or does it seem like, why hasn't paying for OnlyFans, like, why isn't that being looked down upon type shit? Like, it seems like nobody really has there isn't a problem with dudes paying for OnlyFans, bro. I remember I'm not gonna say it now. I remember some popular YouTuber said, he said you dudes are playing with yourself to the same females we piping down in real life. When he said that, I said, damn.
Well, I mean, that's the reality. I mean, we see attractive women every day that, we would want to talk to, right? But she's probably getting dogged out by a guy. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think that's just how it is. Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about this the other day. I said, man, there are dudes paying, a monthly subscription to look at a woman's feet. Like that, like, bro, that is like, bro, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? But
they used to buy pictures. They used to buy pictures to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's just crazy, like, how so many, like I said, like, I'm 22, right? So, like I said, going through high school, I used to be a simp, I'm not gonna lie, like, back in the day. But, I realized, like, it took me going through a situation, right, where I was chasing this girl back in high school and all that stuff, right, chasing her. She didn't give me the time of day, you feel me? She was playing games. Okay, cool, no issue, no problem, right? So when I realized it's a waste of time, I left her alone, stopped calling and texting or whatever, right? So this happened last year in July. I was in the gym last year in July, minding my business. So last year in July, the last time I talked to the female I'm talking about right now, the last time I talked to the female for July last year was in March of 2019. So in July last year, I'm in the gym, minding my business, working out. All of a sudden, this particular female was blowing my phone up over and over and over and over again. It was so crazy, bro. She sent me an email. I never gave her my email. You feel me?
Man. How'd she get your email? How'd she get your email?
Bro, look, bro. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, bro. I to this day, I don't know. So anyways, right, she started blowing my phone up over and over again. I'm like, what is going on? So anyways, I was in the car with my brother one day. We was driving, you know what I'm saying, whipping around the town or whatever. I answered the phone. I said, hey, what's up, bro? Like, what's good? You keep blowing my phone up. What's going on? Da, 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 da. She said, I miss you. You know what I said? You know, most dudes would have said, I miss you too. Not me. Fuck you mean? So I said, what do you miss about me? All you heard was this, bro. Silence. I said, damn, that's tough. That's tough, bro. You hear me? And, you know, so I was thinking about this too, right? So the thing is, when she was blowing my phone up, right, she called me 13 times in 3 days, bro. On me, bro. That's on my soul, bro. And to this day, you know, I'm like, hold on. And remember, I didn't say this, but I never kissed this girl. I never touched her. I never even gave this girl a hug, bro. I never had none of that, bro. And she was blowing my phone up. I'm like, what the fuck going on? Now, me being who I am, I understand that I'm not like the rest of these dudes that's, you know, that's putting women on a pedestal and stuff like that. And I remember back in the day, while I was still a simp, back in the day, I always told her, hey, bro, hey, look, you're not going to find anybody like me, shorty. So, you know what I'm saying, you can do what you do, I'm going to do what I do. But just remember, when you getting piped down, you know what I'm saying, wherever you at, you feel me, just remember, you know, the dude that's like you now, he going to, you know, toss you to the streets or whatever the case may be. You're not going to find nobody like me. She will always say, oh, we'll see. Well, I guess. Well, shit, the reason why she was blowing my phone up, I guess she realized, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, it's that regret. But, hey, bro, I got to go. All right, bro, I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah,
okay?
All right, no problem, man.
All right,
okay,
man.
All
right, man, cool, man. Thanks for the call in. All right. Shout out to C Square and hold on, Silent Garrett. Okay. Simps ignore the red flags. Today's modern women, they reward bad behavior and they stay in traditional role as a man while dealing with a modern woman. Appreciate that. Shout out to Silent Gary. As a 68-year-old white man, many a day I would give up my white privilege for some of your confidence and truth speak, Mr. J. I'm listening and believing. Thank you, Silent Gary. Appreciate that, man. But you know what, Silent Gary? You know, I don't know. You have some self-hating melanated women out here that would love a Caucasian man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the heifers are all over Chet Hanks now. So what's good, Miss Lakers? But I appreciate that Silent. Shout out to Silent. He's an older Caucasian guy that supports. You know what I'm saying? I told you I have people from different spectrums, you know? All right. Lines open. I'll probably take maybe one more caller. All right, let's see. Yo, what's going on?
Yo, Jay, what's up, bro?
What's up? It's Sonny.
Yo, what's poppin'?
What's been going on, man?
Yeah.
Busy
bro,
man.
I'm
What's up,
gunning
man?
right now. I'm in the process of opening up my second business and everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm in the process of opening up my second business and you know, just getting more powerful, bro. And that's what the game is about.
Okay, that's good,
Hello?
man. That's good, man. Salute to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, I want to, you know, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, I can get a business venture with you. You know what I'm saying? You know, but we have to talk on that on, you know, behind the scenes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm willing to see what creative ideas you may have, Sonny. But yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah. All right, I want to chime in, man. I mean, from my observation, man, all my years of dealing with women, right? And I like this topic you got going today. Now, there's two ways you can deal with women. Means you're going to deal with women from a position of power, or you're going to deal with women from a position of powerless. You know? I mean, then you wonder why, you know, how come all these broke dudes getting these high value women, because they're dealing with these women from a powerless role. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The women is basically running the show. You know, but you know, I did that in my younger days. You know what I'm saying? That's teenage pimping. But you know, now I deal with women from a position of power. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of you know what I'm saying, coming up to a female, you know, want to holler at them, I look at them like, you know, like how you going to add to my purpose? You know, can you come work for me? You know what I'm saying? That's how because you know what I'm saying? I look at it like this. When you deal with women from a position of power, and especially you're their boss, every female want to sleep with the boss. When they work for a boss, they want to sleep with the boss. But you know what I'm saying? But anyway, when you deal with women from a position of power, they always going to submit because you know what I'm saying? Because you overpower them. I live life by the 3 P's, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Pimping, principle, and power. If you, you know what I'm saying? If you can't live by them principles, you're going to get ran over. And, you know, especially with these women, come on, these women got access to men at the fingertips. And yeah, they're going to cheat more than men.
Right.
You best believe it.
Especially if they run in the household. Especially if they run in the household. You best believe that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're going to cheat because you got to look at it like this. Especially, you know, I'm from the city and everything, right? And, you know, you got women out here, you know what I'm saying, in the city. And you know, this back in the day when I was gaming. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It was women out there. Women can go out here and have sex with 5 or 6 different dudes before a dude can have sex with one female. You know, and that's just living in the city. And that was like before the rise of the internet. So now you got the rise of the internet. You got women, they can go out here and sleep with 10 dudes before a man can sleep with one. You know what I'm saying? So these women ain't loyal, bro. These women ain't loyal. You know what I'm saying? These women ain't loyal, and you just gotta play your position and play your position right. And you know what I'm saying? And like I said, like I deal with women from a calculated position. I don't deal with women emotionally. I don't deal with them from an emotional standpoint. Like if you sleep with my girl, bro, you can have her, bro, because she wasn't my girl in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how we have to look at women now. We got to look at women from a calculated position. And, you know, because we got to rebuild masculinity, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you got people, because we lost the war on masculinity. Because you got old boys performing in dresses and all like that.
Yeah,
come on, man.
and you got men defending that. You got men defending that.
Oh, yeah. Them male feminists, they're going to defend it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're going to defend it because they're dealing with women from a powerless role, from a powerless perspective. And then, you know what I'm saying? Just because you got money does not necessarily mean you're dealing with women from a power perspective.
Right.
You can still have money and be high value and still deal with women from a powerless perspective because your mindset is not right. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying, Jay? Man, these women can sleep with 10 guys before a man can sleep with one. And you'll never know a female's cheating. Female can sleep with a dude. A female can recognize the dude she slept with and tell him that she make eye contact with him to let him know she's with a man before her and her man even walks up on the dude that she done slept with. Man, you know the game with these women, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust them, dog. This a new age women. These ain't traditional women, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely
protect the brotherhood.
It's new out here. That's why I say, like, you know, finding women who have any type of traditionalist mind state is becoming rare and rare because they're trading that in for how much attention they can get from how many men, right? They're trading it all in, even though they have a boyfriend or husband at home, right? You know? Right.
They can have all that, man. Let me tell you something, bro. I was a dog, like I said, bro, back in my younger thug years. Yo, bro, I got got his girl knocked up. Then and had his sister tattooed my name on her chest, and she wanted to marry me. And I was sleeping with his baby mom's sister, bro, all at once.
Wow, not the
chest. So you can't tell me these women, on the chest, bro. And they knew about it. They all know about it, bro. They all know about it, bro. So, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, yo, man, these women, they doing that back in the day, bro. Imagine what they doing now.
Yeah, that's why that's why I say, like, you know, only a type of woman can really handle the type of things that we're saying and actually understand what we're saying, because there are women who will say, I don't like what you're saying. You're trying to shame us and stop us from getting the attention that we want. Like Chloe Bailey, like she's doubling down on the side chick energy, and that's not going to get her anywhere. You know, she may get attention, may be able to make money and grow a brand, but what happens when you have all that and you don't have anybody there solid? You know, been ran through. You know, next thing you know,
right.
you go
like,
from having value to having no value, or little to no value.
Right. Facts, Jay. Facts check, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not genuine, Jay. And like I always say, these women, they always have low self-esteem, bro. If they didn't have low self-esteem, why would they wear makeup? Why would they put fake hair in their hair? You know what I'm saying? Like, that lets you know right there, they got low self-esteem off the break. And you know what I'm saying? And the women are very, women gonna do what they gotta do, and it's called hypergamy. And they want to eat and they want to survive. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I can't knock them for their hustle, but at the same,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hello?
Yeah.
I can't knock them. I can't knock them for their hustle. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to play and don't try to shame tactic me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they do. When we don't fit their agenda, bro, they try to shame tactic us and be like, oh, why you acting like that? Why you acting like a robot? You know what I'm saying? Why you gotta be so calculated?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a sign for insanity. Like, come on now. Your shaming tactics don't work on me, because if it was about non-emotional tactics, because decisions is all about tactics anyway. It's a tactical way of looking at life anyway.
Yeah. Hey, Sonny,
you know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say I gotta go. But I appreciate you calling in, all right?
Yeah, Jay. My bad, Jay. My bad, Jay, man. You hit home and everything, and yo, and it got me, got to the heart. But I tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I know you stretch very thin, and you know you having a good show, and keep up the good work, bro.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Red pill alpha up, bro.
Absolutely, man. You take care, all right?
Yo, likewise, Jay.
Peace, man. Shout out to Sonny with the call in. Yo, you're live with Jay the Black. What's going on?
It was like, I gotta respond to Sonny. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Listen, man. I mean, not respond, but I want to add to his point about the whole hypergamy thing.
Okay.
Listen, man. When women have hypergamy, this is why women are going through karma right now. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say there's no bad guys in the world, but sometimes, man, hypergamy can cause karma. You feel me? Sometimes a lot of women, they have a good, decent man at home. He's doing his responsibilities, loving on her, doing what you gotta do as a man. But sometimes women always feel like they gotta do better. You know, and sometimes when you're dealing with a man who's doing good, you leave him and you hurt his feelings, your karma could fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and years ago, my dad always told me, I never understood it when I was younger, but I understand now. He said, yo, listen, Jaye, you can't give people the benefit of the doubt, especially females. You know, a lot of times we try to do everything we can for a woman, and we try to give her the benefit of the doubt. You can't give her the benefit of the doubt because she won't give you the benefit of the doubt when you're broke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you broke, or let's say you have money, but you're not the best of women. She'll never give you the benefit of the doubt. She'll never show you the way to deal with a woman because that's just how they are. You know, they want you at the finished product. They don't want you when you're in the middle of the race. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing with that. And you can't give people the benefit of the doubt, man. There is no benefit in doubt. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah, you have to be a skeptic in most situations, definitely.
Yeah, man. You know, so that's the thing with the whole hypergamy thing, man. And you know, and with this girl, what she's saying right here, I've been saying this for years. You know, a lot of guys will tell me, you know, because you know, you have some guys who don't believe in cheating in relationships. You know, some guys say like, yo, if he was in a cheating relationship, what's the point of cheating? You gotta understand. I'm gonna take Jay-Z for instance. Years ago, when Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, everyone was calling Jay-Z like a big cockblocker. Like, yo, if he was gonna cheat on Beyonce, what's the point of marrying him? You gotta understand. Jay-Z was damn near 40 when he married Beyonce. Jay-Z wanted to have a family, have some kids.
Yeah, he was getting older then. Yeah, he staggered up.
You gotta understand. So he was damn near. He was 40 years old when he married her. You feel me? So it's like, damn, he wanted to have kids and start a family with somebody. I mean, shit, my father time was kicking in on him. All right. So the thing is, when he was with Beyonce for like 5, 6, 7 years, he was hitting it every day, every week. He wanted some new pussy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. And it goes. So that's the thing. He's not a fucking cock blocker, man. He's being a man. If you motherfuckers in this position, y'all would cheat too. You had bad bitches DMing you. So I don't want to hear that shit. That's number one. Number two.
Yeah, because being with a woman like Beyonce, it's gonna draw women to you naturally. Like some of the most attractive women you've ever seen, just because you with her, right?
Right.
That's
what. Yeah. I mean, listen, you could be fat as hell, but if you dating a chick like Rihanna or Beyonce or Nicki, bad bitches are gonna start DMing you just cause.
Yep.
You know, and the thing is too, man, and actually that brings you to my second point. listen, man, as men, we gotta get fucking power back. A lot of times, guys don't want to leave their woman. Well, listen, it could be from a scarcity mindset. I'm not denying that, but you know, guys don't want to leave their woman because they feel like they can't replace her. So when she's acting up, might be cheating, they genuinely feel like they can never fucking replace her. Yeah. When you have chicks on the side, it gives you the confidence to replace her if she acts up. So you gotta cheat, unfortunately.
That's how they mess up, because they're in that mindset of, I can't, replace her. When you can, you just have to walk away, and some of these guys just can't do it. They can't do it.
I mean now, listen, you got some guys who really love their woman. So I'm not saying you have some guys who can replace, but they genuinely love their woman. So I am sympathetic to that. But most of the time, man, guys can't walk away if they don't feel like they can replace. And I think that's not cool. Like, you understand, women in this era, especially with social media, women have the abundance mindset by default.
Yep.
They have this shit by default because they know guys don't want to fuck them. You know what I'm saying? So guys will say like, oh, cheating is not right in a relationship. And I say, fuck that. I say you gotta keep your options up, so when she is acting up, you have the confidence to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying, man. I feel like everyone, like black people as a whole, we're so busy on this moral shit, this moral and faithful shit, and we still losing, especially as men. Man, fuck it. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to gain leverage. So listen, if you got to cheat, fuck it. You see what the little baby doing? He had his side chicks with Jada.
Yeah. She finally left him though, but he's good with being single. I think maybe that's for the best. Sometimes it's for the best,
I mean, and listen, Jada. Listen, everyone's saying that Jada's a hoe. Listen, Jada's not a hoe. You gotta understand,
no, she's not a hoe. No, I don't think she's a hoe. No.
Yeah. I mean, she's not a hoe. Listen, she's not a hoe. Listen, Jada seems like a good chick. It's just, when you a rapper, you got bad bitch DMing you, you're gonna cheat, man. That's what comes in territory. But in Jada's situation, I can let it slide because she was with the baby before he even got put on. He was with him. Like, I seen pictures like when she was just a nobody. When they both of them was nobodies.
Yeah.
So I could understand why she was with him, man. But the main thing I'm trying to say, Jay, is, man, like with these chicks, man, fellas, man, you gotta have chicks on standby so you can replace, man. This is what women do all the time. We flipping the script and stop giving chicks the benefit of the doubt. I'm out. I love your show from New York. I'm out.
Peace, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, man. Yeah, shout out to all my New York callers. Yo, you're live with Jada Black. What's going on?
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. What's up?
I'm calling on the topic, man.
All right.
But, man, I was just talking about this the other day with my brother, man. Keep your options up, man.
Right.
He was talking to this one girl who wouldn't get no attention. She literally told the dude that he contacted him in 2 days, man. Called back talking about, what is saying? Told her that she told dude that she was sick or whatever. He was listening to her like, man, I'm like, dude, you ain't gonna believe that, ain't
you? Your phone is kind of muffled, man. Yeah, your phone is muffled. Your phone was muffled, bro. You're gonna have to work on that. I don't know if you had an earpiece in, because sometimes with earpieces in, it may affect the call. All right. Lines open. May take one call, maybe two, maybe one. I like how everybody has chimed in on the topic, man. That's good. We haven't veered off. A lot of times we end up veering off, and that's on me. I had to keep that from happening. Yo, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Jada Black? How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. What's up?
Hey, I just want to tell you, man, I really appreciate what you're doing, your YouTube channel, everything.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to be honest with you. I remember watching your videos back in 2019 about, a boy being the fallback guy. Being nice to women isn't going to get you far. While marriage not into a boy dating and marrying. And now I'm starting to realize when you're in a marriage as a man, your woman can still cheat on you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, women sometimes we'll often say, men are always the cheaters when they get married, but no. Women can still do a whole bunch of crazy shit too. On top of that, if they have kids with you as a married man, they can still take you to child support, take you to the court, get child support from you, and then you still have to deal with that while another man is, lying in the bed with your own woman.
Right.
Hey,
yeah, man.
Ask you something.
Women have gotten more and more savage. Women have gotten more and more savage. Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to ask you something. Don't you feel as if this is kind of obvious, but I feel as if the courts are just so biased towards us men. I wonder if it will ever change where more men are going to get full custody of children. Do you ever think that would happen or not?
I don't see that happening anytime soon, due to the fact that the courts are known for trying to do what's in the best interest of the children, which means keeping them with the women, because they don't have faith that men can raise those children. And unless you see outpouring of politicians or even celebrities speak out on this, there's not going to be any changes anytime soon. You're gonna see the same things going on that it always has. Shout out to C Square with the cash out real quick. Salute to you, man. All right, but yeah.
Well, one thing I realized is that there's some men though that are better parents than mothers. Like men, like our parenting is so underrated. It's so appreciated. Like I've noticed, like a lot of people don't appreciate fathers now. Like it seems that we're kind of taken advantage of, where the mothers are more so being seen as the queens.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Say it again.
Hey,
say it again.
I noticed that a lot of fathers, they are more so being taken advantage of, and the mothers are starting to, they've already been looked at as the queens, as the better parents, and so on.
Yeah.
And, it's not necessarily healthy. It's not necessarily good for young black boys in these households, because when they're raised by single mothers, they oftentimes have issues growing up as men.
Yeah, they do have problems dealing with men socially, and they're very more angry and confrontational towards them because they grew up in an emotional household, raised on emotion. So you have that going on, right? That's why fathers are needed, especially for young boys. Young girls too need fathers too. I'm not going to say they don't. But we have a community. Yeah, we have a community for the young guys who are just lost. You know what I'm saying?
And guess what? Yeah, and guess what? When young girls are raised in these households by just women, I noticed that a lot of times they will oftentimes try to go for criminals simply because they didn't have their fathers in their lives to try to teach them and guide them about the men that they should be going after. That's what I noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Hey, Jada Black, are you conservative?
I'm more center, but I lean more right than left. Center right, basically.
For Trump?
But I'm not I wouldn't say I'm a conservative,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's kind of how I am too. I'm more so independent, but I'm more so.
I have to be, man. Look at these politicians and the things that they do. I mean, look at the Republicans. I mean, they're just as much of a mess right now as Democrats, but Democrats are just worse. Because they get help from the media. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, especially with feminism.
Oh man, and the propaganda, the pushing of the alphabet community onto society.
Yes.
Men wearing dresses everywhere, and even in women's bathrooms. So yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Oh, and guess what? Kid Cudi was also wearing a dress the other day on SNL. I noticed I'm starting to see a lot more male rappers wearing dresses, and, supporting LGBT rights.
I mean, if they do, more power to them. I mean, I just don't rock with the music. Like any music of the last 3 years, man, I don't rock with because of the people who are making the music.
It's trash. Like back in the 80s and 90s, that's when the music was fire. 80s and 90s.
Yes, it's changed a lot because now they're rapping about getting high and spending money they don't have.
Drugs, crime, murder. It's what a lot of these
lives
rappers
they don't live.
The lives that they rap about.
Yeah, because the real rappers that are in the streets are in jail right now. Or them been there a few times.
Yeah, and guess what? If every single rapper lived the lives that they truly rapped about, the vast majority of them would be in prison or dead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, do you have kids, man?
No, I don't have any kids, man.
Good. I'm telling you, this bachelor life suits us well. This bachelor lifestyle suits us well.
It does, as long as you're making the most of it, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. As long as you're not simping.
Well, you know, depends on what lifestyle you're doing, you're choosing. A lot of these guys do what they, I guess, naturally, instinctively do. That's why these guys need to really educate themselves on the opposite sex more, right? But hey, bro, I gotta go, man. But I appreciate you calling in. All right.
Yeah, no problem. I'd like to call back sometime soon. Appreciate you.
All right, then do that, man. Thanks. All right.
Yeah.
All right, man. Take it easy. So the line's back open. Yeah, I did do a video on Kid Cudi. Absolutely. Yeah. But ultimately, listen, we giving out the we're giving out the attention. We're paying for the OnlyFans. Like we have to look at what's going on and how we contribute to it. Yo, you're live with Jada Black. What's going on?
Hey, what's good, Jaye Black? I kind of want to piggyback off what the last caller was talking about.
Okay.
I'm actually a father who ended up getting custody of my son.
Okay.
By some very unconventional means. So basically, long story short, my son ended up breaking his wrist, and like his mother didn't tell me about it.
Wow.
I go to the hospital.
Uh-huh.
I get to the hospital. All these cops pull me into a room. Now I'm flabbergasted as to what's going on.
Uh-huh.
I ended up realizing, yo, they about to arrest me.
What?
So a social worker comes into the room. A social worker it's the craziest thing in the world. A social worker comes into the room, and they're like, so where was your son? X, Y, and Z. I'm like, he was with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh well, what we're hearing is that your son was with you. And something happened with his wrist. I was like, hold up. I didn't even have my son, but see, me and my baby mom had a very contentious custody battle with my son in the earlier stages of his life. So what I did, every time she didn't bring him, and we had custody arrangement and everything, she never brought him. So I would always get a police report indicating that she didn't bring him. I think that's what a lot of men need to start doing. When women like get into this thing where they do some shicey stuff, always get documentation.
Right.
It's very important.
Always.
Get documentation because that stuff will save your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it saved my ass because I had police reports indicating I didn't have him. She didn't bring him to our exchange point, and they ended up finding out that I didn't have my child. Now, this is the craziest part of this whole ordeal. I didn't have an establishment of paternity because my son was very young at the time, and he was just born. We were having this custody battle. I didn't have an establishment of paternity. So when the social workers came and was like, all right, we have to take your son, they went to my son's mother, and they said, all right, so we can't give him your son unless you agree to give your son to him. We can't give him to him. So the wildest thing in the world happened. My baby mom said, no, he can't go with them. They took my son into foster care.
Wow.
They took my son into foster care, and I had to fight. I paid $16,000.
Wow.
Fighting to get him out that system. Fighting to get him out that system.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had a wild.
But you know what? They try to make it seem like these stories don't exist. That's why I wish we'd see more, emphasis on single fatherhood and fathers who actually try to be a part of their sons' lives. Like, I would really love to see more of that in the lamestream instead of this narrative that, we don't care about our kids and we don't take care of them, right? That's a narrative that's put out there, right?
That's such a false narrative.
Yeah.
It's such a false narrative. And it would be it would even be drowned out more if they allowed fathers to get custody of the children. Because even after all that stuff happened, I had to fight to get my son out of the hands of the state.
Mm-hmm.
I've never kept my son away from his mom. This is when my son was 1 year old. My son is 6 now. They gave me custody. I've had custody since he was 1, almost 2 years old. I've not kept him from seeing her. I have not put her in a position where she would be hindered from, just having a good life.
Right.
I've not put her on child support. I've not done anything. And I'm a great father. And I know it's not much saying that from because I am. I'm a great father. I make sure I provide. I make sure I teach my son good lessons. I do a lot of stuff for my son. And
that's good to hear, man.
Yeah, it's something that men. What I just want to tell men on this live stream: if you really want to, and it's going to be a hard fight, and you may not get the outcome that I got, because the situation that I had was very wild. I ended up losing weight and everything. It was I went to 110 pounds and everything. Like I was depressed like a mug. But documentation.
You got through it, bro. You got through it. But hey, I gotta go though. I gotta go, man. But hey, listen.
All right,
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do a live stream specifically on that sometime soon. So make sure you check back in. All right.
For sure.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, man. Have a blessed night.
You too, man. Good luck to you. All right. Shout out to him, man. Well, shout out to him, man. He had a story to tell. I wanted y'all to hear that, but I wanted to get to some more of these callers before I wrap up the call-ins. But yeah, man. Black fathers go through it, man. Black fathers go absolutely through it. And I think that people don't want to believe that they go through a lot, but they do. But again, man, make sure you call back when I do a show about single fatherhood. I'm going to try to do that sometime soon, man. You want to call back in, make sure you do that. All right. But I want to make sure I get a call or two in. If not, I'll just go ahead and wrap up the calls on the topic. All right. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Darrell with the Cash App. Thanks, man. I mean, listen, man. Black fathers go through it, man. People like to make it seem like these guys just don't care. I don't believe that. If you have a conscience as a human being, you care about your children and the well-being of them. And if you don't, you lie. See if I can get anybody else want to call in real quick before I go and wrap up the phone calls. If not, I can just close the phone lines. This has been a good show, man. This has definitely been a good show. Right, you've been a good been a good chat so far, and a good listening audience, man. Everybody calling in with their perspectives and good enough perspectives in the chat. All right. All right, hold on. Let's see what this is. All right. All right. I think that might be it for the callers. Maybe for the callers. All right. Salute to everybody that's here. All right. But yeah, I want everybody to do well. Last year was a trying year. but we got over it like we normally get over everything. We normally get through a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ed Nice. Shout out to Jay, the mods, and everyone else. Thanks, Ed Nice. Appreciate that. You know, last year was a tough year, but we got through it. We definitely got through it. And I think we will continue to get through, but we have to get smarter. There's nothing wrong with change. There's nothing wrong with doing better and wanting better. Right? Somebody put the phone line in the chat. Yo, what's up?
Hello?
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Yeah, I'm seeing your topic, what's going on with black fathers and stuff like that.
That's not the topic. That's gonna be a topic to another stream. The topic of this stream is about.
Well, I'm basing off what the last young man just said, because I just caught it, so I was hearing what he was going through, and I went through a similar situation.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a 16-year-old daughter, and basically I've been raising her my whole life. I got full custody when she was 5 years old. You see what I'm saying? I've been doing this all of myself. No child support.
Okay.
None of that. Just blood, sweat, and tears. Just me and her. You know what I mean? So every time I see fathers out here getting a bad rap, black fathers that getting a bad rap, I'm like, that's not true. Because I got friends. I got a friend right now. He got 3 kids from his ex-wife, and he got all 3 kids. You know what I mean? I know people, I know a lot of dudes that's raising their kids. So, you know what I mean? It's not true, man. We out here doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I do everything, homework, everything. Go to work, 2 jobs, do all that, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm on it. So,
yeah.
I like what you're doing, man. You're looking out for us, man. You're giving us a voice, bro. And I like that.
Thanks, man.
Keep up the good work, man.
I appreciate it, man.
And you fathers out there, keep your head up too, bro.
Right.
Keep your head up, guys, and keep working, man. Don't let this system get you down, man. Cause
absolutely.
Not everybody out here is bad, man. So just keep going, man.
Right, man.
Heard?
Definitely, man.
All right, bro.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate the call, man. Take care. All right?
No problem, bro. Yeah, definitely.
All right, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to all the single dads out there. Shout out to all the single dads out there, you know, putting the work in. Like I said, I know single fathers who raise their children, multiple children, themselves. You know, and them kids were disciplined. Them kids didn't get out of pocket. Okay? They went to school, went to college, or to the military, right? It's a lot of guys out here who are working hard and taking care of their responsibilities, man. But you got people that's trying to convince you that these guys aren't doing that. I don't agree with that. Because I saw guys who put the effort in to take care of their children. You know, they definitely put the effort into it. And I think that we need to get that out there. We need to get the word out. That's why I may just do a stream on that. Let y'all call in and give your stories, your testimonies, you know. And yeah, man, I think it's about letting people see a different side of men, because especially us as melanated men, we get such a bad rap, especially when it comes to our kids. Yeah, there are guys who are breeders. There are guys out here who having multiple kids by multiple women, don't take care of their responsibilities. They hop from one woman to the next, hop from one couch to the next. But that's not the majority. That's just not. A lot of these guys do care about. There are guys that do care about their kids and where they, you know, where their kids are doing. You know, so we definitely speak on that. But been talking about cheating. Yes, cheating goes both ways. Men and women do it, and it could tie into the fatherless, the fathers and mothers too, because you know you have situations where couples get together, they have a child together. The guy cheats, she kicks the guy to the curb and tries to get full custody and try to keep the child away from the man because he hurt her feelings by cheating, And then she tries to put that child in the face of another man who probably does her even worse. You will deal with more BS from the new guy than from that child's father. You put that child's father through the ringer because what? He cheated with a better looking woman, right? Or he yelled at you the wrong way. So it can all tie in together, man. Okay? But, yeah, man, I think that's it for me. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I will be back tomorrow live. But, make sure that you follow me on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The links are in the description. You can also send me an email to send me topics or an email. Send me an email. Okay, why not? Send me an email. Okay? All right. I hope y'all doing good. Tomorrow will be Friday. And, y'all will be off. Hopefully not, celebrating too much with the liquor or whatever it is that you're using to, unwind. Salute to everybody that's here. It's a good show. And I will definitely see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care. Make sure y'all go and check out the videos I posted today on Jaye the Black today. And check out the other videos I've posted over the week. It's good content. You might like it. Maybe. Who knows? All right, people. That's it for me. Y'all take care and have a good rest of your night.